Have you ever felt like the world whispers secrets that only you can hear? That unsettling sensation that your eyes see beyond what should be visible? That your heart beats to the rhythm of energies others don't even suspect exist? If something inside you stirs as you hear these words, if an electric current runs down your spine right at this moment, then brace yourself, because what you're about to discover could forever change how you see yourself and your place in this universe. Doctor Carl Gustav Jung, the brilliant Swiss psychiatrist who revolutionized our understanding of the human mind during the 20th century, spent decades studying a phenomenon that conventional science preferred to ignore. Jung documented cases of people who seemed to have access to information they couldn't have obtained through normal means. People who knew things without being taught, who sensed invisible presences, who predicted future events with an accuracy that defied all rational logic. These individuals weren't charlatans or people with mental health issues. They were ordinary human beings who had been born with something Jung termed expanded psychic sensitivity. In his private writings, which weren't published until decades after his death in 1961, Jung revealed his conviction that approximately 3% of the world's population is born with spiritual capabilities that go beyond what science can currently explain. Before I continue revealing these secrets that have remained hidden for so long, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel if you're truly ready to learn truths that could transform your existence. Here, we don't just explore the mysteries of spiritual awakening, but I offer you the ancestral keys that have been guarded for centuries. Also hit that notification bell, because every revelation I share is designed to reach you at the exact moment your soul is ready to receive it. The first sign that you possess a deep spiritual gift is what Jung called involuntary emotional absorption. We're not talking about simple empathy or sensitivity. We're talking about something much more disturbing and powerful. You walk into a place and immediately your body tenses for no apparent reason. You walk down a hospital corridor and feel nausea you can't explain. You sit in a bus seat and suddenly a deep sadness invades you, as if it were yours. But you know it's not. Your nervous system acts like an antenna that picks up the emotional frequencies of everyone who has passed through those spaces. The walls, the objects, even the air itself retains the energetic imprints of the human experiences that have occurred there. While most people go through life blind to these emanations, you absorb them like a sponge absorbs water. This ability can be overwhelming, especially during your teenage years and youth, when you still don't understand what's happening to you. You remember those moments when you avoided certain places without knowing why, or when you felt strangely exhausted after spending time with certain people. It wasn't weakness on your part. It was your spiritual gift functioning without you having the tools to manage it. Jung observed that these individuals often develop compensatory behaviors during their youth. They seek solitude not because they're antisocial, but because they need spaces of energetic silence to process everything they've absorbed. They're drawn to music, art, writing, any form of expression that allows them to channel and transform the energies flowing through them. The second sign is your extraordinary connection with the dream world, but not in the way you might imagine. Your dreams aren't an escape from reality. They're windows into parallel realities, into dimensions your waking consciousness cannot perceive. You dream of specific people days before meeting them in real life. You dream of events that later manifest with precise details. But most unsettling of all, you dream of deceased loved ones who deliver messages that you subsequently discover are true. In the dream world, your soul breaks free from the limitations of linear time and space. Jung understood that the collective unconscious, that invisible network of knowledge shared by all humanity, becomes accessible during the dream state for those who possess spiritual gifts. Your dreams aren't random products of your subconscious. They're direct communications from the universe. There's something else you need to know about your dreams. You often wake up feeling like you've been working during the night. You get up more tired than when you went to sleep, as if your soul had been performing important tasks in other dimensions. This happens because beings with spiritual gifts often act as healers and guides during the dream state, helping souls that are lost or in transition. The third sign is your mystical relationship with nature and the animal kingdom, a connection that goes far beyond what ordinary people experience. Animals immediately recognize you as something different. Dogs approach you with a confidence they don't show toward others. Cats, those selective and mysterious beings, seek your company in unusual ways. Birds modify their flight patterns when you're near, as if drawn by an invisible magnetic field you emanate. But it's in your interaction with plants where this connection becomes truly revealing. You have a green thumb without conscious effort. Plants don't just grow better in your presence. They seem to communicate with you in subtle ways. You know when a plant needs water before it shows visible signs of thirst. You can feel its vital energy, its well-being or distress. This connection exists because beings with spiritual gifts maintain active a capacity that most humans have lost: the ability to communicate through energetic frequencies. Animals and plants never lost this capacity. Most humans simply stopped using it. You, however, have kept this channel open. During your childhood, you probably had imaginary friends who were completely real to you. Perhaps you could see or feel presences that adults couldn't perceive. Maybe you talked to trees, to the wind, to elements of nature, as if they were conscious beings. Adults told you it was imagination, but deep down you knew it was something more. The fourth sign is your innate ability to manifest realities through the power of your conscious intention. We're not talking about positive thinking or basic visualization. We're talking about something much deeper and more disturbing: your capacity to alter material reality through the force of your spiritual will. You think intensely about someone you haven't seen in years, and that person appears in your life unexpectedly. You urgently need an answer to a problem, and the exact book with the information you're seeking appears before you as if by magic. You deeply desire something specific, and circumstances align in ways that seem impossible to make it happen. Jung studied this phenomenon he called synchronicity, but in your case, it goes beyond simple, meaningful coincidences. You're an active co-creator of your reality. Your energy field directly interacts with the quantum field of the universe, influencing the probability of certain events manifesting. This ability intensifies during moments of emotional or spiritual crisis. When you're going through a profound transformation, when your soul is crying out for growth, the universe responds to your call in ways that can seem miraculous. The right people appear, opportunities present themselves, answers arrive just when you need them most. However, this ability also carries immense responsibility. Your thoughts, especially those charged with intense emotion, have the power to create waves in the fabric of reality. That's why it's crucial that you learn to consciously direct this energy toward good, both for yourself and others. Now, if you've recognized yourself in any of these signs, I need you to do something important. Leave a comment telling me which of these experiences resonates most deeply with you. It's not just out of curiosity. It's because your testimony might be exactly what another soul needs to read to understand they're not alone in this awakening process. We're a network of beings awakening together, and each shared story strengthens that network of mutual support. The fifth sign, and here's where we enter truly revealing territory, is your ability to perceive the invisible world that coexists with our material reality. You sense presences in empty rooms, not as something frightening, but as an awareness that there are forms of life operating on different frequencies than ours. You perceive when someone is watching you from a distance, even when you can't see them. You enter old buildings and immediately know if tragedies or celebrations have occurred in those spaces. This isn't paranoia or overactive imagination. It's your natural ability to perceive what Jung called psychic impressions. Every place retains the energetic footprint of the events that have occurred there. Every person leaves energetic traces of their emotions and thoughts. You can read these impressions like pages from an invisible book that others cannot see. During your adolescence, this ability might have frightened you. Perhaps you saw shadows moving in your peripheral vision or felt someone touch you when no one was there. You possibly experienced episodes of what psychologists call sleep paralysis, but which were actually moments where your consciousness was accessing parallel dimensions. Over time, you've learned to live with this sensitivity. Though you don't always fully understand what you're perceiving, you've developed unconscious protection rituals, avoiding certain places without knowing why, feeling uncomfortable in rooms with a lot of emotional history, preferring open spaces where energy can flow freely. The sixth sign is your instantaneous, intuitive knowledge about people and situations, an ability that goes far beyond ordinary intuition. You meet someone for the first time and immediately know whether you can trust that person or not. It's not something you deduce from their appearance or behavior. It's direct knowledge that arises from the depths of your being. You can sense when someone is lying, not because you detect inconsistencies in their story, but because you perceive the energetic dissonance between their words and their inner truth. You have premonitions about future events that later confirm with disturbing accuracy. You know when someone is thinking about you before they contact you. This ability exists because you possess what Jung called the intuitive function developed to the maximum level. While most people process information primarily through the 5 physical senses, you have direct access to a 6th sense that connects you to the universal information field. Your intuition isn't a hunch. It's a form of direct knowledge that completely bypasses rational mental processes. During your childhood and youth, this ability might have caused you social problems. You knew things about people that you shouldn't know, which made others uncomfortable in your presence. Perhaps you learned to stay quiet about your perceptions to avoid being labeled as weird or too intense. But now, as an adult, this ability has become one of your most valuable tools. It helps you make important decisions, avoid dangerous situations, connect with the right people at the right time. You've learned to trust that inner voice that always knows the truth, even when your rational mind tries to convince you otherwise. Subscribe to the channel if these revelations are resonating in the depths of your soul, because what comes next could be the puzzle piece you've been searching for your entire life. Also hit that bell icon, because every video I publish is synchronized with the exact moment your spiritual awakening needs, the next key of understanding. Now we come to the 7th and most transcendental sign, the one that reveals not only that you have spiritual gifts, but what your true purpose is in this incarnation. If you've made it this far, if you've recognized the previous signs in your life experience, it's because you possess the most sacred and necessary capacity that exists. You are a healer of souls, not necessarily through formal techniques or structured therapies, but simply by being who you are, by the energetic frequency you naturally emit. People feel better after spending time with you, though they can't explain why. They seek your advice even for problems where you have no direct experience. Your presence calms the inner storms of others. Your energy heals wounds that aren't visible. Small children and elderly people are especially drawn to you. Babies stop crying when you hold them. Elderly people seek you out to tell you stories they've never shared with anyone else. People in crisis, without knowing exactly why, feel the urge to talk to you, as if their soul knew you have exactly what they need to heal. This healing capacity isn't something you've consciously developed. It's something you were born with. It's the reason your soul chose this incarnation, why you decided to come to this world at this specific moment in human history. You're part of what many mystics and spiritual scholars call the healer generation, souls who incarnated with the specific mission of helping humanity through its great spiritual transition. Jung believed these beings were what he called the wounded healers of the world. They've gone through their own deep existential crises, navigated dark nights of the soul that brought them to the edge of the abyss, but emerged from those experiences with wisdom and compassion that can illuminate the path for others going through similar processes. Your own wounds, your own moments of deepest pain, weren't accidents or punishments. They were part of your spiritual training, necessary experiences that developed in you the capacity to understand and heal others' suffering. Each crisis you've overcome has given you access to a new frequency of healing. But here's something you must understand with absolute clarity. Your spiritual gifts aren't just for your personal growth, they're a service your soul came to offer the world. Every time you use your intuition to guide someone, every time your energy calms a person in crisis, every time your understanding illuminates another human being's path, you're fulfilling your highest spiritual mission. It's crucial you understand that these gifts come with sacred responsibilities. You must learn to protect your energy through energetic cleansing techniques, deep meditation, regular connection with nature. You must establish clear boundaries so you don't absorb others' pain to the point of making yourself sick. You must develop spiritual practices that keep you grounded and balanced while serving as a healing channel for others. If you've recognized yourself in these 7 signs, you're experiencing what's known as an accelerated spiritual awakening. This process isn't always comfortable or easy. It can generate periods of intense anxiety, existential confusion, a sense of not belonging to the ordinary world. It's normal to feel that your way of perceiving reality is radically different from most people around you. But here's the most beautiful and hopeful truth. You're not alone in this process. Millions of souls across the planet are going through the same spiritual awakening at this historic moment. They're recognizing their gifts, learning to use them consciously, finding their sacred purpose. They're part of what spiritual masters call the great collective awakening that's occurring on our planet. The world needs your spiritual gift now more than ever. We live in an era of unprecedented planetary transformation, where spiritual sensitivity, developed intuition, the capacity to heal, and connection with subtler dimensions of reality are exactly the qualities humanity needs to evolve toward a higher level of collective consciousness. Your spiritual gift isn't a cosmic coincidence. It's not something you developed by accident. It's something your soul consciously chose before incarnating in this world, before choosing your parents, your birthplace, the experiences that would shape you. It's an integral part of your sacred contract, your specific contribution to the great collective awakening that's transforming human consciousness. The difficulties you've faced, the moments of loneliness and misunderstanding, the crises that have pushed you to the limit of your strength, all have been part of your preparation for this moment. Now you understand why you've always felt different, why you never quite fit into conventional molds, why your soul yearned for something deeper than what this world seemed to offer. Don't ignore these signs we've explored together. Don't minimize them, or allow the world's skepticism to convince you that what you feel isn't real. Your experience is completely valid, your perceptions are true, your gift is real and desperately needed at this moment in human history. It's time for you to stop hiding behind rational explanations for experiences that transcend the rational. It's time to fully trust your intuition, to honor your extraordinary sensitivity, to use your gift for the supreme good of the world and all the souls who need the light that only you can offer. The universe has been preparing you for this moment your entire life. Every strange experience, every inexplicable perception, every moment of mystical connection has been part of your spiritual training. Now it's time to fully embrace who you really are and allow your spiritual light to illuminate the path for others. If this message has touched the deepest fibers of your soul, if you've found the answers your heart had been searching for all this time, I ask that you don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Share this content with someone you know who's also going through their own spiritual awakening process. Together, we can create a global support network for all souls who are recognizing their gifts and finding their sacred purpose. Always remember this fundamental truth. The entire world is waiting for you to shine with all the magnificence of your spiritual being. Don't keep your light hidden any longer. It's time to radiate your gift to the world that so desperately needs it.